Hey man, let's get something straight. A woman doesn't want everything handed to her. Not your time, not your validation, not your leadership, not your emotional attention. When you let her win too easily, when you cave to everything she asks without pushback, without standards, without boundaries, you're not loving her, you're lowering yourself. And she might smile at first, she might enjoy the power, but deep down, she starts losing the one thing that keeps her emotionally invested: respect. Every time you let her walk over a boundary without consequence, every time you shift your values just to make her feel more comfortable, every time you agree with something you don't believe just to keep the peace, you think you're being kind, you think you're building connection. But what you're really doing is trading masculine integrity for temporary approval. And in her mind, that's the moment the attraction begins to die, because feminine energy doesn't crave dominance, it craves structure. She doesn't want to beat you, she wants to believe in you. But when you fold at every push, when you yield at every disagreement, when you try to be the yes man just to avoid emotional waves, she may win the moment, but you lose her heart, because now you're not leading, you're following her emotions, and that makes her feel unsafe. When a woman feels like she can emotionally overpower you, she may not say it, but she starts seeing you differently. She starts testing more. She starts pulling more control. Not because she wants to, but because you invited it. You told her, without words, that your boundaries aren't real, that your rules are flexible, that your backbone is conditional. And once she senses that, she stops trusting you. You think giving her everything she wants will make her love you more, but what it actually does is make her feel like she has no one to lean on. Because a woman doesn't fall for the man who gives in, she falls for the man who stands firm with grace, who says, I love you, but this doesn't fly with me. The man who keeps his frame even when she's emotional. The man who won't compromise his standards just to make her smile. Letting her win too easily kills the polarity. Polarity is built when two energies meet, masculine groundedness and feminine flow. But when you give her full control, when you let her take the lead emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, the polarity collapses. Now you're playing the role of the pleaser, the appeaser, the emotional butler, and the more you serve her mood, instead of guiding the moment, the more she feels like she's dating a man who needs her approval to breathe. She wants to feel your strength, not your submission. She wants to feel your leadership, not your fear of conflict. She wants to know that when things get tense, you'll hold the line, not collapse, just to keep her happy. Because that line you draw, that firmness, that clarity, that's where her attraction lives. That's the emotional tension she respects. That's what makes her feel like, damn, this man can hold his own. You think saying yes to everything makes her feel loved, but what makes her feel truly desired is when you say no from a place of clarity, not to control her, not to dominate her, but to show her that your principles are real, that you're not just in this to please, you're here to lead, that your presence is not a free-for-all, it's earned, it's sacred, and if she wants access to your energy, she has to meet you with respect. When you let her win, without effort, she stops trying, and when a woman stops trying, she starts drifting, because what's handed to her loses value. But when she has to earn your attention, earn your trust, earn your depth, she cherishes it, because now she's emotionally invested. Now she's bonded to the process, and every small win feels earned, not gifted. She doesn't fall for a man who bends at every request. She falls for the man who listens with love, but doesn't lose himself, who can look her in the eyes, smile calmly and say, I disagree. Who can walk away from emotional chaos without raising his voice? Who can remain still when she's testing him, because he knows his value doesn't live in her mood. Most men think peace comes from avoiding tension, but true peace comes from holding your ground during the storm. From being a mirror, not a sponge. From leading the emotional tempo, not dancing to hers. And when she sees that you're unshakable, she stops pushing for power, because now she feels safe enough to let go. Letting her win too easily creates a dynamic where she becomes the emotional leader, and that kills her feminine flow, because now she has to think for two. Now she has to steer. Now she has to carry the emotional burden. And no matter how independent she is, no matter how strong, that makes her resent you. You don't need to be controlling. You don't need to be harsh, but you do need to be rooted. You need to be the rock she can crash her waves against, without fearing that you'll crumble. That's the kind of energy that makes her fall deeper, not the guy who gives her the wheel, but the one who keeps the ship steady while she feels. When you give in too quickly, she loses the tension, and tension is where the desire lives. The emotional pull, the chase, the dynamic that says, he's here, but not mine. When you remove the tension by handing her everything, you remove the chase, and when the chase is gone, so is the hunger. Let her earn your depth. Let her earn your presence. Let her earn your full emotional attention, not to punish her, but to protect your value. Because when you give her the entire kingdom before she's proven she can be queen, you become the man she used to date, not the one she can't forget. The deepest attraction is built in resistance, not argument, not conflict, but calm resistance. A man who can love her without losing frame, who can stay soft in tone but firm in standards, who can say, I love you, but I love myself too. She doesn't want full control, she wants direction. She wants to feel your edge. She wants to know where you stand. And if you won't stand for anything, she can't lean on you for anything. Because love without backbone is just people-pleasing in disguise. You're not doing her a favor by folding. You're doing her a disservice. Because now she can't trust you to lead. She can't relax into her femininity. She has to carry the masculine role, while you sit in the passenger seat. And guess what? She'll resent you for it, even if she can't explain why. If she wins every argument, every mood swing, every emotional spike, you lose her, not because she wanted to dominate, but because she wanted to feel your unshakable core. And when she doesn't, she might stay in the relationship, but her heart leaves the room. So stop thinking you're being a good man by giving her everything. Be a strong man who loves without abandoning himself, who gives from fullness, not fear. Who leads with clarity, not submission, because the man who lets her win too easily becomes the man she stops fighting to keep.